Hi everyone, Tim from Classic Register here. Today we're having a look at how to do a wiper blade change on a C140 or W140 Mercedes. This particular car, the coupe, is a right-hand drive example. The process is exactly the same for the left-hand drive example, but you've got the different blades on the different side of the car.
Okay, on the C140 or W140, you've got two different lengths of blades. If you're using the Bosch blades or other blades, they're different lengths on either side. Now on a right-hand drive example, the blades will sweep up this way. On the left-hand drive, it's the other way. So there are different types of blades that will fit the W140 and C140, but the type I've gone for are the Bosch Twin Spoiler 359 S. Now you'll see on the other side of the box here that the measurements of the actual blades are different on each side. So you've got one that's 705mm or 28 inches, and the other is 628mm or 25 inches. Now the lengths of the blades that I mentioned before are relevant to the position. The shorter blade should be on the driver's side of the car, and the longer blade should be on the passenger side of the car, and that will apply whether or not it's left or right-hand drive. Looking closer at the differences between each wiper blade, the driver's side wiper blade, the shorter wiper blade, has a push button mechanism in the middle to release it off the wiper arm, and the passenger side longer blade has a different centre mechanism. To give yourself as much space as possible, and before we start the actual wiper blade replacement, you want to raise the wipers to the up position and stop them there at the top, and also open the bonnet of the car. This will give you a bit more space between the lower wiper blade arms and the bonnet to make sure you don't scratch it. You want to first have a rag ready, and the reason for that is when this wiper arm comes off, it's going to be forcing or resting up against the windscreen, so have a rag there ready to rest that on so it doesn't scratch your windscreen. With the driver's side wiper arm, the way to replace this with the push button is simply to push down like that, raise the wiper off the screen, and then you slide out the hook like so, and the blade will come off. Now once the blade's off, as I said, have the rag ready and just rest it there so it doesn't damage the screen. So having a bit of a closer look at the driver's side mechanism here and how the actual wiper arm connects, you'll see the button here is connected and rocks with the connection point for the wiper arm, but it's actually a separate piece, and it pushes down, and you can see it through the edge here and separates, allowing you to get the wiper arm hook over that point, and then you'll be pushing that back up to lock in the wiper arm. Okay, so now moving on to connecting the blade to the wiper arm. Now, as we mentioned before, we have to push down on this button on top and pull it right round underneath so that the hook is ready to go in over the top. You want to then lift up the wiper arm fairly high. Now, down here where my right hand is, you'll see these two metal keepers that sit on the base of the wiper arm. The wiper needs to go between those first of all, so it's centered, and then the hook of the arm clips over the top, and then you want to remove the rag so you've got some space to play with, and then you can slide the wiper blade up, and then you hear it lock like that. Once you hear that lock, you know it's all the way in, and you can flip that button back to the top position so the blade and the arm are locked in. Alright, moving on to the changing of the passenger blade now. Again, have your rag ready. Lift up the blade slightly, and underneath you'll hit the tab. Now we'll put a short other little video in here of where exactly that is. Push that tab in, and then slide the blade back towards the bonnet, and it will be fully released. You're going to lift it off like so. And again, to protect the windscreen, put a rag or something similar there. Now, the passenger side blade is a little bit trickier than the driver's side in terms of knowing which way to put the hook onto the blade. This is the correct way that this little plastic clip should be facing. You can get confused because if you flip it around, it's got another side which makes you think the blade could go that way. It's not correct. So if you've got that little tab facing upwards, that's not correct. It's got to be facing the other way, like so. and that's the way the blade will sit. And the reason that's important is because that allows enough clearance in here for the hook to go in, which you'll see in a second. Alright, now I'll get the rag out of the way to start with here. Now you just want to simply insert the hook over the top, and then you'll see it'll push down that plastic clip slightly. Once you're in the position there, again, like with the other side, you want to pull up towards the roof until it clips into place just like that. And then you're all done.